Our Black Friday sales live right now, 25% off the entire site, all of our handmade leather goods, including all the new stuff that we released. And if you're confused maybe what to get your guy or gal, we made a little buying guide to explain all of our products and what ones you might want to get for certain hobbies and types of people. So check them out below. This is probably the most expensive single boot we've ever unboxed on this channel. There might have been a couple that we did, like unboxing like 7 pairs of expensive stuff that equated or equaled close to this, but this is by far the most expensive boot I think we've even had on both channels. Obviously we're not cutting apart, that's why we got a couple white gloves right here so that we don't damage these. And what are they? Chisos, obviously. Their whole slogan is damn comfortable cowboy boots, and it's very true, but they arguably make some of the highest quality boots in the entire world for cowboy boots. We did a whole freaking YouTube series over 2 or 3 years of all the top cowboy boots to really figure out who makes the best cowboy boots. And Chisos was always near the top in almost all categories. And they're a small company, you know, they're, Will, the owner, is about as cool as it gets. You know, like as I've gotten more and more into the industry, I've seen how the CEOs have a huge impact on the business, in the way that the business is communicated, in the ethics of the business, the way that they run things, and like the way they communicate with other people, and just like the fundamental like baseline getting along with people and brands. It all a lot of times comes down to the CEO. And Will is cool, and he's been super supportive of us throughout the years, and it's been cool watching him get to the point where making $5,000 gator boots. So, what knife today? Well, we've got a big old Demko knife box. And if you ever wondered how sharp Demko knives are, let me give you a little zoom up on my finger. Everyone's always like, you're gonna cut your hand off, you're gonna cut your finger on the bandsaw. The only time I've ever actually even cut myself in the last like 3 years is when I was carving pumpkins. I literally chopped like half of my knuckle off, and now it's all like bubbled up and nasty and scar tissuey, and literally cut like right down the half of the knuckle and peeled it away. And then we were in the middle of a pumpkin carving contest. We only had 30 minutes, so I just wrapped that thing up. I should have gotten stitches, but I was like, I got a pumpkin carving contest to win. And I must have brought the knife up at some point and just barely nicked the tip of my finger because I didn't even feel it. But that's how sharp their knives are, is what I'm getting at. Long story to say how sharp they are. So let's see what they got. We'll just choose one though. So it looks like they sent us the Nano 20C milled, the Nano 20C fat carbon, Nano Shark. Ooh, my nephew, Shark Snacks, AKA Snacks, was gonna love that one. So maybe we unbox that one. Okay, let's do the Nano Shark and the heavy titanium. I wanna know what the Shark is. What is that about? So Nano Shark G10 Black 20 CV. Ooh, that's a stout little fella. Look at that thing. That is. Look how tiny that little blade is. That's cool. Just like a little chubby little pocket knife. That's probably why they call it Shark. It's just all short, maybe. I like how stout and like aggressive that thing looks. Okay, let's figure out what's going on with this one. Cheers, as I break it. Oh, it's just a giant Big Daddy knife. Oh, that is crazy. That thing weighs like 2 pounds. I don't know how much it actually weighs. Dang, that's crazy to flip out. It feels like a nunchuck. It's like, it's loud too. Dang. So we perfectly unboxed their little chode knife, or their little baby knife, and their giant freaking slaying knife. That is so cool. Okay, we'll use the little baby knife, but we'll unbox the rest of those Demko knives in one of the videos coming up. So now, to the $5,000 boots. And these got lost in the mail, actually. There was a miscommunication with addresses somewhere along the line, and they shipped it to the old shop. $5,000 boots. Fortunately, they didn't just leave it on the porch and someone stole it. They returned it back to Chisos, and then they shipped it back to us. So, whoops, sorry Chisos, our bad. Let's do it. With my little Demko shorty knife. Oh, No wonder it's so freaking heavy. Dang, look at that. A freaking wooden box. That is classy. Do things right. Love Texas. Little koozie. Howdy Weston, thank you for your support, Chris. Wooden box is a solid, classy move. Can't forget the white gloves. So, how do I get this out? One of the little buckles broke in transit. I can fix that. Here's my Demko. Gonna do a little box surgery real quick. Dang! Look at that. Freaking Chisos reverse. Gotta return these. Not the gloves, but the boots. Okay, what does a $5,000 cowboy boot look like? Whoa, dang. Oh my gosh. Look at the inside of this thing. Located in Big Bend National Park in Texas, most profound landmark, the Chisos Mountains. There's just something about the Chisos. Long have they been a source of spiritual renewal for native and travelers alike. Chisos boots took form upon this enchanting backdrop, and that namesake influences how we operate today. A portion of all revenue supports Texas land conservation. You become a part of that ethos of pride and responsibility when you pull on your Chisos. $5,000 boots. Let's check them out. Okay, here we go. Ooh, dang. Whoa, look at the Chisos mountain range up here. That looks like it's tooled in there. I don't know if it's hand tooled or if it's machine tooled. That looks hand tooled to me. It's probably a stamp, which would make, well, I don't know, it's a $5,000 boot. Maybe they do hand tool every single one of these. That is so cool. Because you can see how the tool is under, almost like it wraps underneath the leather. Woo, what is it, crocodile, gator? It's gator, right? Gator skin. Oh gosh, look at this thing. So leather sole, classic leather sole. Looks like everything's the same with their construction, but I'm curious what the details are on this. Ooh, okay. $4,950. So let's see, own the premier small batch wild Texas alligator cowboy boot. Massively handcrafted in extremely limited runs and offered for reservation only periodically. Each pair is mirror cut from distinctive royal black alligator belly. Because a lot of people think alligator in boots is from the back and the big heavy spine, or like the spikes, I don't know, like big alligator scales. But those are so tough and so hard that you almost always see the belly used because it's way more malleable while still having that alligator look. Selectively harvested in East Texas and built on the Chisos signature #1 round toe last. So that's cool. They're Texas alligators that get turned into Texan boots. A hand carved relief. I knew it. I freaking knew it. Hand carved. Look at that. All that is hand carved. Or hand tooled. That is so cool. That's just such a cool idea. I don't think I've seen that in a cowboy boot that we've cut apart anyway. I also really like that they left this part of the sole white. I think it adds a nice, or like natural, I think it adds a nice little pop of color. Okay, now let's look at the other boot, see how matching they are. Because they said they mirror cut them, so they should be almost identical. That is about as close as it gets. Dang, I wish I could keep these boots. I really want them. But look how it's like it's a diamond pattern, but it's set at a 45 degree, and so you get that kind of crosshatch look, and both are mirrored, so you see even up to here. See how the little scales get a lot tighter right through here on both boots, and then it gets wider down towards the toe. Same thing with the sides. So even like the back stay, look at that. Like the back stay, or the heel counter, very similar size of pebbling. Even going right to the back of the heel counter, it's almost identical. And then even the mountain range is a little bit different. Oh no, it's just not mirrored, right? So this little mountain goes that side. No, they're different, right? No, they're the same. Okay, let's look inside. And it comes with a new style of insole. with a different leather topping. Ooh, it's dual density too. That's why these boots are so freaking comfy. So they're built to the ultimate degree for cowboy boots. Like everything's veg tan, everything's redundant, everything's over the top. It's done about as well as any other cowboy boot I've ever seen. Plus, it comes with a big, fat, squishy insole. And so you get all the traditional stuff, plus like the modern feel of a squishy insole. That's why Chisos are so freaking hard to beat. Obviously, per dollar spent, a $5,000 cowboy boot, you're gonna be like, well, I'm for sure not buying a $5,000 cowboy boot. And that's good. Well, they're not for everybody, right? We're talking also more generally about their boots in general. Is any cowboy boot ever worth $5,000? It's if you look at materials and like labor and stuff, it's hard to be like, oh, this is exactly worth $5,000. But when you start rolling in exotic leathers, especially exotic leathers that are from Texas, tanned, actually I don't know where they're tanned, but specifically found hides from Texas, made into boots, you start to see where that ridiculous $5,000 price point comes from. Because these ultimately are an anniversary edition. You know, they're not necessarily made to be like, all right, Chisos is making $5,000 boots forever. Like this is a really small batch, over the top version of Chisos making the ultimate cowboy boots for them. You know, Texas crocodiles, alligators. Texan alligators turn into Texan boots. It's so good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys these. Like it's literally, like right now they're not even available. By the time you're watching this, I think they're available. And I literally just want to do this video for fun to show you guys these boots. Cause you know, like I'm not gonna end up with a pair. Most of you guys probably aren't gonna end up with a pair. But just being able to see what does a $5,000 Texas alligator cowboy boot actually look like. I don't even think I'm supposed to try them on, but let's do it. Okay, $5,000. This is $2,500. Slipped on one shoe, one foot. Look at those, oh my gosh. Okay, well I'm gonna get these packaged back up, shipped back out to Chisos because I can't have them. And we're not cutting them. Not yet anyway, you never know. It could be, if there happens to be like a flawed pair or an extra one pair, maybe we'll convince Will to cut them. But these are going back in the mail. So check out Chisos if you want their anniversary boot, like their premier small batch wild Texas alligator cowboy boot. Check them out below, and huge shout out to Will for sending these in. They literally got lost in the mail. We almost lost his $5,000 boots, and I would have died if we did that. But yeah, just kind of for fun. I just wanted to show you these boots and just geek out about them for a minute, and that's pretty much it. So check out the Demko Knives. Oh, we're gonna open this very gently around these boots. These little shorties, super cool. And that's it. So thank you guys. See ya.